Hey guys, it's Crozo, and welcome back to another video. Today's video, we're going to be talking about Mythic Sludgefist, and really, this fight feels so good on Affliction Warlock. Your cooldowns line up pretty well for it. You've got insane burst on the first and fourth pillar, and it's very fun to try and parse in this one. The mechanics aren't super different from Heroic. Okay, they are different, but it's one you can pick up after just a few pulls. It's not as insane as like Stun Legion or Sire has for sure. Yeah, let's go ahead and get started. Let me get right into the talents. The talents in this fight are obviously just single target. It's a one dude fight, so Drain Soul, really good. Maintain Shadow's Embrace. Siphon Life, just an extra dot. Makes your Rapture's more potent. Does good damage on its own. Actually, it does like shit damage on its own, but it's really nice to have. The other two are not good for this fight. The 30 row is the only one that ever really changes. If you are under geared or you're having trouble, like you keep dying on pillars, you're not getting healed or something, you know, whatever. Dark Pact is really, really good, and it's up on a 1 minute cooldown. So every single pillar, you're able to use this. I have 44k HP, right? And I get like a 24k shield or something. Yeah. The shield is so good on pillars. If you're dying on pillars, use Dark Pact. I'm really geared though. I'm 226. I don't really die that much. So Demon Skin, I like Demon Skin because it's just passive healing, and I'm a Parse Monkey. I like having kind of healing parses as well. But if you're having trouble, Dark Pact's better. If you're not having trouble, Demon Skin's fine. Just passive healing is good. The rest of them are your normal single target. Phantom Singularity, extra dot, 45-second cooldown. It's up every pillar. Feels good, man. Mortal Coil is great because you can heal yourself. It's like a healing potion on a 45-second cooldown. It's awesome. The only problem is it's got a 20-yard range, so sometimes you're not close enough to use it. But generally speaking, you can get in range and use it, and it's nice. Haunt is a must. It's good for applying Shadow's Embrace. 10% damage taken increase on the boss. Awesome. And the 50 row Misery, of course. I feel like this should be baseline, man. I mean, come on. When do you not take this, right? It's so good. Alright, and the next we have Conduits. Conduits, your Soulbinds is going to be Naya, of course. The mastery you get from having Naya is so good. And you're going double potency through the middle. You take Malignancy and Cold Embrace as your potency conduits. Extra damage in your Rapture, 25% increased damage is awesome. And then, you know, the extra % increase for Cold Embrace is really good as well. So having these two is just great for single target. Really just good all around. And then your Endurance Conduit doesn't really matter in this fight, actually. I ran Resolute Barrier every time, but the more I pulled this boss, the more I realized it doesn't matter with this Conduit. Because you're not using Barrier, like your wall, more than once. Wall's on a 3-minute cooldown, and this fight's only like a 5-ish minute cooldown, maybe 6 minutes, you know. And you don't wall early. I walled early in some of my pulls, but I realized I wasn't taking enough damage to warrant it in the first place. So the wall is really the best on like the 4th pillar or like the final wall slam if you can save it to that late. And at that point you're not getting it twice. Unless you use it at the very beginning where it's not helpful at all. So maybe Diabolic Bloodstone is better. Having the extra leech when people use your health stones is really nice. I never used Drain Life. I never really found the time to use it, but this could also be good. You know, it just depends. You know, experiment with these two, see what you like better. Yeah. Just make sure you have your double potency, malignancy, and cold embrace. Pretty good. Alright, so the next thing I want to talk about are trinkets. Trinkets in this fight are like really important. Namely, Imperial Ordnance is broken on this fight. It was like made perfectly for this fight. First off, Ordnance gives you just a bunch of mastery. Gives me like what, 7% mastery? It's a lot of mastery. And then the on use is really good as well. So the on use for Imperial Ordnance, it puts a debuff on the boss, and after the debuff wears off, some slow moving orbs come to you, and then when they reach you, they give you a bunch of intellect. Like 350 intellect, 370 intellect, something like that. The whole ordeal takes about 20 seconds, right? If you use 2 on use trinkets, whenever you use 1 on use trinket, it puts all other on use trinkets on a 20-second cooldown. So you can use Imperial Ordnance first, 20 seconds before Sludgefist charges the pillar, and then whenever he starts charging the pillar, your other on use trinket will be off cooldown. You can use it, and at that 20-second mark is when the buff from Imperial Ordnance is going to be active on you. So the timing lines up really well. You're supposed to use Ordnance when the boss is at 70 energy. I'll link a weak aura in the description, because after, at 70 energy, it takes 20 seconds for him to charge. So you use Ordnance at 70 energy, and then 20 seconds later, you get the buff from this. You can use any of your other unused trinkets, and Sludgefist charges the pillar, and he's going to take, Gondo damage. It's a great timing, lines up really well. If you don't have Ordnance, kind of sucks, but you can live without it, but it's so good. Alongside this, I would suggest using the PvP badge or Soulbinds Ruby. Those are the two best ones in my opinion. If you have like the question mark trinket, IQD is also good, but the thing with IQD is that on the first pillar, it's going to give you what you want, right? You're going to get the off stat you want, it's going to be awesome. But on the fourth pillar, it's really hit or miss, Your healer's going to maybe be people are going to be chunked if you don't use it, before the pillar. It like during Lust with your cooldowns and potion and everything, it'll feel really bad to give someone 3k mana, you know what I mean? So I'm not as big a fan as this, but it's still an okay option. I would not use the Bell. If you have the Bell, I would not use this. Bell is on a 1.5 minute cooldown, and really, you're not really going to be using it more than twice in the fight anyways. You don't use cooldowns on, you don't have cooldowns up on the second pillar, nothing's up, and then you don't use any cooldowns on the third pillar. You only want them on the fourth pillar because it lines up with Lust. So Bell, even though it's up, you can't use it more than twice anyways. So don't use Bell. Badge feels great because you can use it every pillar. That's why I like it. It's just an int pot every pillar. It feels really good for me. Also my gear is all rounded out with no crit, so this rounds out my crit for me. I like Badge. I rely on it too much though. But yeah. In summary, Ordnance, good as hell. Use the 70 energy. And then use Soulbinds Ruby or Badge. Or IQD if you have it. Alright, here I want to go over your damage cooldown usage. And it's really simple. On this fight, you're just going to use... So, Soul Rot and Singularity are up every pillar. So use them on every single pillar. 1, 2, 3, 4. You want to use Phantom Singularity on pull with your normal cooldowns. Because Phantom Singularity is only a 45 second cooldown. So the boss is here and you're here. You guys pull, use Haunt, blah blah blah, use Phantom Singularity. Do your normal damage rotation and you're chilling. And then before he gets ready to charge the first pillar, preemptively use all your damage cooldowns here. Everything besides potion. So you want to have make sure your Haunt, UA, everything's reapplied, then Soul Rot, Singularity, Dark Glare, and then you'll have it ready. So right when he's charging, boom, you just spam Raptures and do a bunch of damage. And then all your cooldowns first pillar. Second pillar, when he gets here, you're not gonna have cooldowns up anyways, so just make sure you have your Soul Rot Singularity going, and then Rapture when he hits pillar. On pillar 3, you're gonna have your damage cooldowns back up, but don't use anything. You're gonna have Dark Soul Misery up, and then if you're like an Orc, you have Orc Racial up. Don't use those when he charges here, just Soul Rot and Singularity, because you want to save your main damage cooldowns all for the fourth pillar. So whenever he's charging the fourth pillar, you want to do the same thing you did in the first pillar, right? You want to have all your dots up, Singularity, everything, Dark Glare, and your potion, your damage potion, because you're also gonna have Lust here. This is your big damage spot. So everything here, just like first pillar, boom, you're bursting, and awesome. Watch damage. Hopefully you kill him here and you can smile. And yeah. So recap. Everything on first pillar besides potion. Just Soul Rot Singularity on second, Soul Rot Singularity on third, everything including potion on fourth. And then if you get the fifth slam into the wall, you're only gonna have Soul Rot and Singularity again. So hopefully you kill him quickly because you're gonna die pretty fast when he hits the wall. All right, let's go ahead and get into the video. So in this kill, we kill him on the fourth pillar, right after the fourth pillar. So stay tuned after this part, and I'll show a clip of my first kill when we killed him after he charged the wall, like his fifth charge.
Were you calling shit I'm in melee?
I'm turn this down, sorry. It's loud. So, on pull, I use Haunt, my normal damage stuff, but I also use Singularity, like I mentioned earlier. Put it on the 45 second cooldown, because it'll be up. In Mythic, everybody's chained, like I said, right? So, make sure you find your partner. And notice too how I'm already kind of pre-spread, because he does the stomp, and everybody in 4 yards of you is going to get extra damage. See, try and move as little as possible, or if you can, pre-move stuff. Also, you didn't hear, the raid leader, or one of the raid leaders, said that I'm going to be soaking the chain slam. And then Mythic, the chain slam, it'll target one person like normal, but we're only having 4 people soak it. And normally they choose like hunters. In my experience, it's hunters, druids, and warlocks who get chosen like every time. Just, I don't know, just cuz. So we come over here, we get pulled in. Chain slam does very little damage. Also, I have like spirit shell, so I think I'll stay at full health the entire time. And then Mythic, the chain slam puts a bleed on you, but the bleed is kind of negligible, so no need for a defensive here. You're chilling. It just kind of interrupts your spell casting, but whatever. CC pulls us in. Also, here's my weak aura I mentioned. It tells you when he's at 70 energy, go ahead and use Imperial Ordnance, and it's going to line up perfectly fine. Using it at 68 energy is also fine. 68 or 70, just use it here, and it'll be up ready at the pillar. He's going to knock us back. And here, see, everybody's preemptively moving, so we have to spread less when he stops. Like, see, I don't have to move it all now. Also, we made room for melee, which is a nice thing to do, because this poor melee can't play if we don't give him space. So here, my ordnance buff is like right here. It's about to come back to me, and my badge is about to come off cooldown. So I'm going to preemptively use like my misery, and then get all my dots up, UA, soul rot, singularity, orc racial, dark lair, everything up, and then I'm going to start rapturing as soon as he hits the pillar. I think I'm a bit slow here because my haunt is set at like a scuff timing, but I can't help that. I just use it on cooldown. But generally speaking, have everything ready and start rapturing as soon as possible. Let's watch how I play this part here. Also, sorry, let me go back. I'll let you see that in full. But Mythic, when he slams the pillar, there's going to be 4 rubble piles on one in each corner. You're going to be assigned to one. Your raid leader will tell you. Make sure you soak your pile. It's going to split into 2 smaller circles. If you're in one, your partner can be in the other, and you can still both soak it just fine. Just make sure you're soaking something, because if you miss one, we missed one at the very end. You'll see. If one person doesn't soak a circle, it'll almost kill your group. It takes you over like 20%. I didn't mean to click there. So let's click here.
Shit. Oh my goodness.
I pressed my haunt a bit late, and then I'm going ham.
Melee range right there?
And here I get lucky. I crit him for 78k like 3 times in a row. So my damage, I wasn't on the meters, and now I'm top, like 12k almost. Here I see my partners in the back, so he's kind of chill. Mythic, rubble still does no damage, so standing in the rubble is fine. It does like 1,000 damage a tick. So if you have to stand in the brown stuff to avoid the slam hitting someone else, you're stomped off, it's fine. You'll see me doing this the entire fight, because I know it's whatever. I don't get pulled in for the slam this time because I have a healer with me. I'm lucky, so I get to free damage.
It's crazy.
He's gonna roar us back, and I'm gonna pre-move, so I have like less shuffling to do when he does his stomp. I really have to move. And then from here, you're gonna see I try and pre-move to the pillar as much as I can. I just don't want to stand on the brown stuff too much. And then I go ahead and use Soul Rot, Singularity, damage Trinket, the 1 minute cooldown Trinket, and do damage. And sometimes you're lucky like that as well. When you soak the first one, yours in the place the second one lands. You saw there my stuff, like my UA and stuff, was falling off as like before the pillar ended. And normally, like I had no soul shards, so I reapplied them. But if you have like 2 soul shards or something, and your corruption's gonna fall off, I think it's more important just to use your raptures anyways, instead of reapplying corruption, you know. But UA and agony are pretty important. So here we get pulled in. See, that time I took a little bit of damage. You'll see here I just chill, wait a second, roar back. I use Mortal Coil to heal, and then I try and get out of the brown shit and get ready to spread. I make room for melee, I back up here, spread, and then I get ready to get in position to soak like after the charge. I've got like very little room to work with. Also, you'll see here, I do have my Orc Racial and Misery up, but I'm not using them because like I said, they line up on the 4th pillar really well. So I'm just doing my normal, Soul Rock Singularity and PvP Trinket. Let's hear my I was kind of scuffed on my reapplying my dots in Shadow's Embrace, so they're all gonna fall off a bit early. But I have the soul shards, so I just try and reapply what I can. So that was a pretty scuffed filler. Here, my mage partner's far away. He's got his rune of power down. He's not moving, so I have to soul shape over.
Cursor, K-Smack, EC Shadow.
He and I are soaking this next one, so we're gonna go ahead and get towards the back. He's moving preemptively. Go to the very back. He pulls us in. And I'll see after we get pulled in, I try and head back here because I'm soaking this corner as well for like after the slam. So we try and come right back there when we can. Here's Lust. Use my trinket. Since I have so much haste because of Lust, I'm using like a bunch of raptures right now because I know I have haste and they'll proc back up. It's kind of greedy, but it works out for me pretty well. So I get in position. Then here I go ahead and use all my damage stuff and get ready to go. My badge wasn't up exactly when I wanted it to be, so I kind of missed it a little bit there. I'm sorry. My stuff was a bit scuffed here, a little bit. I'll go back and play without talking. But yeah. My badge is off like a second, so oh well. Here I just do big damage.
You can res me.
You see we all got chunked here because somebody missed a soak.
Everything.
Everybody got chunked, like 2 guys died.
We have 2 reses. Res Brew and Hardy in a second.
Here on this one, my partner's all the way across, and I don't even know where the fuck he is. Like I spy, he's over here. I'm lucky he's a priest, because otherwise I'm dead. I had to use Soul Shape last time to get to my partner who was really far away. So if he wasn't a priest, I would be dead. But he kind of saved the day. Soul Shape's really nice to get to your partner if they're far away. That's like the only time ever you want to use it.
In thinking, and then it took like a weird angle.
It did run farther than normal.
Yeah, like it went like way under the boss.
The boss went inside the pillar.
And then yeah, there you go. There's the kill. So let me see. Let me pull up the clip where we killed them at the 5th one. Alright, so I'm gonna go ahead and start this video from here. This is before the 4th pillar slam, and just like I showed you, all my damage cooldowns here preemptively. Potion everything. I get PI in this kill, which is pretty cool. Yeah, we're just doing the same thing. What's different though at Mythic, if you do the 5th pillar, 5th charge against the wall, is he does his mechanics like normal, except whenever he chooses somebody for the chain slam, you pretty much just sacrifice that person. So he's gonna target, I think it's this Janella, this hunter, with chain slam. What's gonna happen is our shaman is gonna put down ancestral protection totem, which is like a preemptive B-res totem. The druid is gonna break the chain slam, and he's gonna die, and so is she. But he's gonna get revived, no problem. Or watch, see? He's dead. He's gonna revive himself. And what happens is the boss tries to pull the hunter, but he can't because she's dead. And it actually buys us a couple seconds of time. If you saw his energy bar doesn't move a little bit. You probably didn't see, but it keeps his energy bar from going up a little bit, and that buys you like a minuscule amount of time. But it helps. And then you pretty much just play it like normal here. I gotta move because I gotta make sure melee gets in. And this fight, I used wall at the very beginning for some reason. I was kind of trolling, but it ended up being helpful because I had it for this last slam. And you see I have 4 soul shards, soul out singularity coming up in my PvP trinket. I use wall, and then we're going to be in a barrier like a dome, and spirit link I think. So I need to try my best just to live as long as possible. I use those preemptively, and I just spam rapture as much as I can. I'm just like hoping I don't die fast. And then, yeah, they live long enough, they kill him, and we get the achievement. Down the boss. So if you get to a 5th pillar slam, pretty much try and wall. If you have wall up at that point, you have to wall it. And then hopefully you don't get the one targeted but the chain slam. Because baiting that chain slam feels really bad if you're the one who has to die. And yeah, pretty much it. Alright guys, and that's the video. Thanks again for watching. Like always, I hope this helps you get your first kill or a really good parse. One of the two. I haven't posted in a while. It's been kind of hectic. IRL, like school stuff. And I just had like a new guild I'm joining and a bunch of things going on. So I'll try and keep at it, be consistent. But yeah, thanks again, and have a good one. Bye guys.